Let me stream comms. Oops.
I'm just chilling. Today was
Dude,
my off night. So.
all I did, Shobek, Babka,
Yeah.
since we're all in one room,
Yeah,
I just want to firmly foremost say, I don't have any beef with you. It's just I watched your content for a very long time.
Bro. No, you're not.
No, I'm saying Shobek. I love you, Babka. You know.
Yeah, Shobek and Greek, fucking squash that beef.
But
right now.
what I'm gonna say, man, is I hope the best for you, man. I'm done with WoW. Seriously.
Dude, what? Why did you upload that video?
Because people deserve to know how to buy gold without getting banned, and everyone does it, bro. They only banned me because I was being vocal about it. Because you know what? People deserve GDKP. People shouldn't have to deal with 15 USD flasks. People shouldn't have to deal with farming ST for 10 fucking hours to pay for one consumable. It's just erroneous mentality, brother.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I feel that what you're saying is absolutely true. But I feel that the battle that you're trying to fight is like, you know, fighting is like you're fighting something too powerful.
It's okay.
It's like, yeah, it's like a one-man fight, you know?
It's okay. Everything's
like
taken away from me and it's
like
done.
Literally putting a bomb on you and just bombing. But I get it. But yeah, I mean, it's.
No, I'm not getting unbanned, bro. They're gonna uphold
it's
it.
a tough one. It's a tough one, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I get your message, and I feel like many people like think that way. But it's just, yeah, it's like,
But honestly, bro, I'm kind of happy this happened
spot,
because
bro.
at the same time, it's not really a tough spot because listen, they gave me a abusive economy ban, which is only given to people who one sell gold or two monopolize a commodity to the point where it distorts the economy. I bought gold. I never saw gold. The fact they gave me a abusive economy ban instead of a 2-week ban just goes to show a Grand got personally butthurt that I posted a tweet about him. No one wants to pay 20 USD a week to go raid. No one's gonna fucking sing an ST for 18 hours a fucking week to go raid. Yep. And I spoke truth and people got really butthurt. A Grand blocked me on all social media, and then an hour later I was banned on all my accounts. Why?
It's true, but I feel that I feel you're a very passionate guy. Maybe the way that you should have like done it could have been like a little bit different.
Bro, we tried.
Like,
we tried all the time. He caters to like only things. We tried, bro.
Stuff.
We tried, bro, because you know what?
The voice is not getting heard.
We tried, man.
I agree.
We're respectful about it too, but like no, a bunch of people dying hardcore, they get listened to. But no, we fucking have to deal with extreme inflation caused by people who don't know how to press their buttons and raid, and they don't know how to get paid. The thing is, you could be against GDKP, but when you get something taken away to the point where you can't agree with something to the point you want it taken away, you are no better than the people you condemn. That's the kind of mentality that led the nations falling. Like, you gotta have people have their choice. You can't take their right to choose away other people, otherwise people are gonna flip the fuck out.
Of course, and I think that you choose a very sharp way to say it.
Oh, I don't give a shit. Yeah, it's whatever, bro.
Explosive way to say it. But
I think the reason you got
friend, I just hope that you don't like regret this, you know, in like a week from now, like 2 weeks, that you just don't like regret it, right?
Oh, I'm really sad right now, bro. I want to play my paladin with the WSG tabard and go 1v3 people. I'm very sad, but it's honestly nothing's gonna change.
I bet you are. I just think that maybe there's a way to come back from this. Maybe like I don't. It's such a tough spot, bro.
Oh no,
bro, look, I'm a reformed GM, bro. Maybe it's time to reform, Greek. It's time to change, bro. GDKP's bad for the game.
No, it's not. We're gonna agree to disagree there.
So Shobek, you think that GDKPs are bad for the game?
Yes.
Okay. What is your what's your like take on this? What's your what's the pillar of that argument?
I don't want to get into it.
We don't have to get into anything, brother. We're all here as people.
Yeah.
We're all people.
It is the moment.
Who like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it is the moment. Why? Tell me. Factual arguments. Why?
We can be respectful.
Again, it's there's no point.
Disagree, right? You have your own right.
No point.
I'm all for people having the right to
argument.
choose, man. I served 4 years in the army, gave 4 of my best years of my life, so people can have freedom of choice within this country. I know it's like this is a video game and shit, but like people ain't gonna do ST for 10 hours to pay for a single consume. GDKP is the ultimate equalizer, and it's just when you take people's right to choose away, they're gonna freak the fuck out, regardless of the circumstance. And I'm the physical manifestation of those people who have not been heard, who have been stepped on. There's hundreds of thousands of people that still play Classic Era, and we could have had those people on Fresh, but they don't play Y.
Yep. As a neutral party, I think that GDKPs is the lesser evil. It is not the best thing to do. It's not the worst thing to do, but it is what will make more people play the game. And I think that Classic WoW with more people playing is the better Classic.
I feel
less
like
people, but more in a purist way.
Okay, so my because you guys are edging me so hard.
Yep.
The reason why,
because I know you would trigger, so go for it.
The reason why they got
Thanks
rid of
for the gift
GDKP is because they had to set the runway for Classic Plus, which is coming in 2026. If they didn't get rid of GDKPs and we went straight into another round of Era GDKP into a TBC GDKP, then everyone would want this new version of the game to just be a GDKP. And you're right, GDKP brings a lot of replayability to characters, and it brings a lot of raids, and it allows you to stay ahead of inflation if the company isn't holding up to their integrities, especially with guild or gold exploits with mages and dungeons. Like, yes, absolutely. But to have an actual product then just be kind of branded as this gold buying, gold trading kind of game that goes against what Blizzard stands for as an actual product. And it's no longer an RPG or an MMO, a role-playing game. It's no longer that. And it's stripping away all of that, and it's turning it into just a transactional game. So the reason why they got rid of this is so they can train not only the core community, but then also all the other players that were lost because of GDKP can kind of clear that runway and just say, hey, this is out. Moving forward, we are going to have a game that is a video game. And that is why they got rid of GDKPs, so that if it was again coming at the end of TBC and we just had another 2-3 years of GDKPs, we will be screaming and the game will never be able to flourish because it will just be in the cyclical cycle of GDKP. So then my question to you is, if mages, or to Greekwario, if mages couldn't go into dungeons and raw farm gold, inflating the economy, and the only way for you to actually farm gold would be in the outworld, and that integrity was intact, and it wasn't 400G a flask, would you be okay with that reality of not having GDKPs? Because it seems the only thing you hate is that GDKPs allow you to stay with inflation, and now you're not able to, as a hardcore player, to even stay with inflation.
So, if I may, I concur with all those points, but here's the thing. They got rid of boosting in TBC due to hyperinflation. Why can one mage pull an entire dungeon, then sell the loot? Why is that allowed in conjunction with a mage? No, because here's the deal. Blizzard, they're saying it's against the community standards, blah, blah, blah. Selling Hand of Justice for 1,000 gold is against community standards. One point an entire dungeon and creating unnatural amounts of currency entering an economy, that's against community standards, and that's the core reason for hyperinflation. When a currency becomes the value, that's why you see a lot of Venezuelans playing this game as a full-time job, because their currency is so devalued. So, like, if we're enforcing that,
I think answer the question. I agree with the mage. I agree with the.
Sorry,
mage
what was your question? The inflation.
Would you be okay without GDKPs if there was no mages inflating the economy, and if the economy was intact with integrity? If a flask didn't cost 400 gold.
Perfect world, yes, but the thing is, Blizzard will never enforce that because there's too many bots paying subscriptions. 2, I think having the option of GDKP is still good because it allows people to play very good in raids. Because I like GDKPs, a lot of people like GDKPs because we want to get paid for a time instead of going to software servers and HRs and losing loot to people who do 1/5 of DPS. And I'm not like being mean or impersonal. It's just that's why a lot of people prefer GDKP. I've never gone Kiss the Spider in an era, and every time I lost it, I got 20,000 gold payout instead of losing. And I lost every Kiss the Spider to someone who had worse blocks than me. So I think GDKP is a good equalizer for that.
So I think you're absolutely valid in so many ways. Again, when you have a tier 3 warrior with Thunder Fury, it gives you a purpose to play the character. I 100% agree with these things. If you can try to zoom out a little bit and look at it from like a macro perspective with how it feels with the global economy, how everyone interacts with the game now just being transactional. Imagine you were getting into the game for the first time. How do you expect someone to get into the game as a new player if once they start, it's like, oh, you have to buy gold.
That's a great question. That's actually
and so
a really good question.
It erodes the MMORPG aspect of the game. Like you said, oh, you can just, you're getting value for your time. Sometimes it's about giving yourself up to someone else or a greater cause. It's community, it's vanilla, it's grouping. And GDKPs just kind of doubles down on the me, like the me syndrome, which it's okay to have me syndrome. It's totally fine.
That's erroneous considering it's not me syndrome. Considering GDKP's
syndrome, okay?
Bob, can I mate for a second? Yeah, mate for a second.
Like 3k gold to buy all full bis. Where do you think that gold came from?
I can't have a conversation with you, Bob Cup, if you're gonna completely fucking take the the reins and like zoom in. No, stop. Again, stop, bro. I need you to use your fucking head. Because whenever I talk about anything, you always zoom it into some bullshit and you're trying to flare me off. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not gonna talk
anything up.
Oh, Shobek, I agree.
I'm literally talking about if you were working at Blizzard and you had a fucking product. I'm talking about so macro. Like, and then you're just bringing it to me like, bro,
here.
Absolutely no. You're not. You're bringing it into such a micro thing.
If you're not like on the rent, actually.
it's so L, bro. It's so L. Like, honestly, Bobco, you just derailed everything. It has nothing to do with me trading gold or anything. There's nothing to do with anything.
Nothing to do with that.
The whole idea is that integrity of the game. Mages like going in dungeons.
Right now is all about
I didn't even have to talk to prove him wrong. That's crazy.
It is all about buying gold. What do you want to talk about Warlock summons too? We got into a 50-minute argue about Warlock summons, about how we think people think Warlock summons are good for the game. How everyone's teleporting this, there, and this.
Bad, but they are at least evil. Like right now, like it is what it is. It's bad. Yeah, of course it is bad.
We can debate off our last point before we got sidetracked. Sorry. Well, I was saying, I started in 2023 in GDKP land on my warrior. I had no gold. I had nothing. I got Prebus. I joined an SR. I got enough loot to eventually transition to GDKP. I farmed my own stuff on my character, and I made a financial portfolio that was good enough to go in GDKPs. But the problem is the financial portfolio is currently erroneous, because it used to take you 2 hours to farm a flask, which is fine. Like I farm my flasks back when to 2 to 4 hours a flask. That's fine. But when gold becomes so devalued, you have to spend 10 hours a day for one raid consumes. That's when the tipping point becomes a little bit too much.
It's always been WoW, by the way. It's always been a 40 hour job week just to raid 2 hours. Oh. Nothing has changed. GDKP was the only reason, but again, GDKP starts to erode the integrity of the game, not from an economy standpoint, because it gives you the benefit of being able to stay ahead of inflation if the game isn't going to hold up to its integrity and its values. However, the erosion of the community and lore and RP, you playing a dwarf paladin, Baka playing an undead rogue, these things start to become more eroded because now the game is no longer you and Azeroth. It's now more focused on GDKPs, transactions, gold, monetary value, your own progression, me. Again, it erodes the product as a whole. It's good on a lot of levels, but overall for a product, it's terrible in the game. If the new MMO came out, at least for me, I would not want GDKPs to be in the game. I would want to group up with people and play the game, find a guild and play the game with that guild. earn relationships and build that. I know you can get that with GDKPs. It is a lot fewer and far between. However, it's really bad for the brand of the product to bring in new players. It's bad for the RP of the product, which is pretty much the whole reason
why is it allowed
even
in China
drawn.
then?
Why is it allowed in China? I don't know all the semantics. I can't defend every semantic. I can only defend the parts that I'm passionate about and that I understand. But again, it doesn't even matter because we don't know what they're going to do. I'm sitting here believing that we're getting the runway for Classic Plus because I would be heartbroken if Classic Plus opened up with GDKPs right off the rip. I think it would completely erode the game. And again, that's me. That's me. And I know
more people
we're having a little debate.
Classic, like, so you would rather have a lower
would
pop,
not.
more purist instead of a like massive population, more like generally like everyone is.
I don't understand why.
I
don't. The thing is the game would be 20 times bigger if the game had integrity. You know how many people?
That is how you think, though. This is not how like.
I don't think so.
Think, you know, it's
I don't
like
think
Greek,
so.
How Greek thinks, like that's like Greek's way.
I think
about
era,
things, you know? And how you think about things. This is your way, but you can expect.
I think this fresh would have had more people if GDKP was allowed.
Picture, right?
Because you have a lot of Chinese players, you have a lot of Korean players that are currently playing Classic Era, and their main source for not moving on was no GDKP because they want to play with their friends from North America, and that's why they have never transitioned over to Classic Rush. I think this fresh would have been a lot bigger if we got our own server. And you give these people their own server, like no GDKP, and you give them a GDKP server, and we'll see what plays out. Because at the end of the day, the GDKP server has a more stable economy. Flasks and Era have been the same price for the last 2 years. Flasks and any other release of the game have never spiked 15 USD until this release with no GDKP. But Flask and Era have been the same for 2 years. I don't get that. And you could say it's a supply issue, but Era has 1 layer, but this fresh has 10. So the economics are just adding up. It's not adding up.
Well, it's not adding up because you're not getting a payout every week from rating. That's why.
Yeah, that's not true though, because the consumes keep climbing. So why are the consumes climbing?
The consumes will always keep climbing because the mages are the problem. The problem isn't GDKP in the game. The problem is the
distribution.
We're not. Blizzard isn't fixing the things that the bots are exploiting. So the bots are exploiting mage boosting, like you said in the beginning. 350 mob pools, and they're looting everything. And they're taking gold dropped from the system, from the game, and then vendoring it all. Raw gold farm, pumping all of that into the system, all of that into the economy. That's why the consume prices are going up and up and up, because there's so much more gold in circulation, and they know that they can pump the prices up and up and up because it's a vicious cycle of people having to buy gold or wanting to buy gold because the integrity of the game isn't being upheld. And it's like, well, if the person next to me is leveling with Rested XP and all these add-ons, I'm not going to go spend 10 times more of the time and level up. No, I'm going to go get boosted. I'm going to use the Rested XP. So everyone is just joining in on it. And then that's the vicious cycle. And it's not going to break. And with GDKPs, you're also in a pickle because in a lot of times you are getting, as a buyer, I experienced this on Whitemane, and this is why I did my own GDKP. A lot of you guys, what y'all will do is you will purposely put up people against other people, so then the inner circle will get massive payouts. And then on top of that, you will run with a group of people, and then everyone will put in their payout to upbid every item. So then the GDKP it becomes an inner circle loot council, because if you push numbers into the GDKP, you can, by payout and by pigeonholing specific buyers, you can get all of the gear
items
you want. It doesn't matter what items.
No, I'm saying to you, what happened? Like, what was your personal example happening?
Personal example, if you want to use the Grisil, everyone was able to put up their payout of the next GDKP because it was me joining the GDKP and it wasn't my own. 7, 8, 9 other people can all put in their 10K payout and up the bid to 100K. But realistically, the boys are now just raiding with the boys and they don't get a payout, but Homie G gets the Grisil, and then they just show up next week and do the same thing, because every single gold that they're fronting on their payout is from other players, and they're not actually losing any gold. So because
that's what usually goes for 150, 200 though.
It doesn't matter. When I did it, it was like 150 when it sold. Regardless, I don't give a fuck. That's what ends up happening. And so how can you expect a new player to get into the game when it's no longer Azeroth, it's no longer you playing the game, it's just GDKP, get in, get manipulated, get rinsed, get squeezed, go back to G2G, come back stronger. Now you spend a high fucking wallet. Now you're a whale and you're getting squeezed and whaled. And guess what? You're still coming out short. It's so fucking toxic. It's so horrible.
It is.
There's no shot,
But
bro.
I feel that when you join those, like, you expect that, right?
One second.
You expect that.
Building off of that though, I came there with no money. I just made a lot of alts and collected a lot of checks. I never had to buy gold and white.
You can absolutely do that. You absolutely can. You for sure can. But then the thing is there's infinite probabilities, and we can go all day. I'm just saying there's corruption with GDKP.
He's not.
There's problems with GDKP, and again, Greek, I side with you. GDKP, it gives so much more flourishment. Vanilla, 40-man raid. If you're new to raiding, GDKP is amazing, because guess what? They'll bring you, and you don't have to be good, and you can literally learn the game and get good at the game, because you're going to have carries. It gives people who want to be competitive a reason to play the game, because if they get #1 DPS, they get a bigger cutout. It gives tanks a reason to play the game, because they have all of the investment that they put in.
Why not reward people then? What's wrong with the system? What's wrong with the system that rewards people based off their merits then?
The problem with the system, me personally, I mean, the whole problem is mage boosting. Mages are pumping too much gold in the economy, and if
that I actually will agree with you. I will 100% agree with that, because at the TVC they had to make anti-boosting mechanics. But I just think, honestly, like, I know we can agree to disagree all day. I just think we should get our own server. Non-GDKP should get its own server, and we'll see which one financially flourishes. Because on Classic Era, one layer, it's like the economy is so much more stable, bro. And it's like, there's no reason for a 6-year-old circus clown server to have cheaper consumes than the one that just came out. Like, that does not make any sense to me.
So the thing is like, it is because I feel like your perspective on the stable economy, because you were there for so long. When I jumped on Y-Main and first started doing my Bunkai stuff, that was when the wave was kind of happening after post first hardcore. And I remember gold going from like $40 to $1,000 to then it was like $40 for 5 or some 6,000. And the prices were absolutely changed. Like, it's insane. So the thing is like, when GDKP is more successful, or when the server's massive, like super massive, and there's allowing GDKP, the gold inflation is unbelievably toxic. And then now the game looks awkward, because you'll look up a level 9 green and it'll go for like 100 G. I remember, I think it was Thistle Teas were going for like, I think it was like 50 gold per, 25 gold per. It was some astronomically absurd amount of gold, but that's just because gold had no value. So the problem too is when you have a server that has 50,000, 80,000 plus players, Whitemane only ever got to 2 layers at the very peak of it. So I would argue around maybe 7 to like 15,000 players. This server has 5-6 layers. We would have a crazy influx of gold, and it would be insane. The flash prices would probably be 600 or 700 gold, which would probably be equal to a deflated price. But now gold really means nothing, and you only get value of your gold if you are in those GDKPs. Leveling in the game, playing the game, buying greens, selling, all of that stuff, it would just be weird and awkward, and it would be completely inflated, and it would just be all out of whack. So when you run your own business and you have your game looking like a clown fest, it just looks like a wild zoo. It doesn't look professional. It doesn't look well kept. And that's what happens from these things, because it creates a catalyst. I'm sorry for yapping.
No, you're good. I respect your disposition. No, I know it's for debating.
There's a lot. There's multi-leveled when it comes to these decisions that they're making. There's so many levels, and there's so much foresight that they have to do, and it sucks that they're not telling us, because when you get someone that's passionate like you on the topic, it's just like, well, fuck, bro, they just are hanging us to dry. But I promise you, there's so many fucking levels to this stuff, and to keep a game successful and for it to not implode, and to, like, we don't know all the repercussions. Like, also too, I know we're community members, we also might not know the fucking answers. Again, we're hyper romantic to this game, and we are biased as fuck. We are kind of psychotic in a lot of ways.
We kind of do know the answers, and I'm going to interject here. We kind of do know the answers, because if you look at MMORPGs since the 90s, the Chinese were doing GDKP since the 90s. Like, the Chinese have been doing GDKPs for a very long time. And for someone to, like, all the points we're both making are correct. Like, I 100% respect your opinion. But at the end of the day, you're not going to change people's disposition. I think they should just give us our GDKP server, and you give the people the La La Land server, etc. Because when you take away our apparatus for distributing loot, you're denying and ignoring all the people who are paying those subscriptions, and you're delegitimizing their argument on the basis that they're wrong when they're not wrong, and they just have a different financial, like, mindset than you. I don't think that's right. Because if redistribution of wealth occurred in raids, because the reason why flasks are so expensive, instead of redirecting their income into gear, they're redirecting that income into end-game commodities, because people are going to buy gold every single time. People are going to farm. Doesn't matter, like, the medium, it's going to happen every single time. And since there's no GDKP, my personal theory is just everyone's throwing their money in consumes instead of gear.
So the thing is again, it goes back to a product brand, and it's very high risk to separate the communities into that type of sphere.
Well, they did that by banning GDKPs. They did that because there's people on Era that won't move on.
In a way, yeah, but I mean, Era does not have that many people. It just does not have that many people. I would say that's an acceptable loss. It's a percentage that, like, they're willing to be okay with. I think it's
When's the last time you've been on Era?
I've not been on Air in a while, to be honest.
It's
I
imagine there was more people in Stormwind than Night Slayer the other day.
I mean, sure. So I mean, if it's a flourishing a community of maybe, like, what, 1,000 to 2,000?
There's more.
How many?
A little bit more.
I don't know off the top of my head, but there's GDKPs running 24/7. It ain't that.
But it has one layer, so it can't actually be it cannot be enough.
It's not massive, but
no, it's had enough for multiple layers. I don't think they have layers for Era, if I'm being honest, regardless of the people. Because we've had a lot of people, and it hasn't given an Era.
It's not that I'm against the idea. I'm for separating and having fun servers. I mean, I grew up playing private servers. I would love it if they did an RP PvP server with one layer. I think they should have given us one server with no layer and a Q boss. And I still believe that would be the better server. Now, maybe no one would log off and bots would run rampant, and the whole server's 50% bots, 50% players, and it's dog shit. Very well could possibly. But I think when you start splicing the community like that, because you're right, they spliced the community by banning GDKPs. However, they spliced but forced you to play on one server. They didn't splice and then splice the community on a different server, because that's where things get weird. I'm not sitting or standing by them. I'm just simply explaining the implications of just giving a GDKP server, and how, again, it's an official product. Like, this isn't a small indie company anymore. Shareholders, massive, successful, official.
Well, they act like a small indie company.
What is the perfect server for you? What is the perfect server? If there's one rule, what is the perfect one?
No warlock summoning, changes to dungeon gold acquisition, and the best way for you to farm gold is through resources out in the outworld, like lotuses and stuff like that. And make some nerfs to classes, like take out Hawkeye and shit like that. Have in-game GMs that monitor. Yeah, Hawkeye. So they can't.
Do you share the same ideas?
I share the same ideas with HRs.
Server. What is the perfect classic for you?
Well, build out, like, you want, like, build off his or me? Because to me, HRs, SRs, DKP are all problematic, because it creates unfair advantages where people are not rewarded based off the merits. Instead, the loot is being premeditatively, it's being decided by like it's gonna go to this person because he's like
Luke
he's
also
streaming.
can be,
It's-
it can be.
But like I just feel like and Shobek's right. I have been in GDKPs where people will bid you up, so I don't go to those GDKPs. Like Loon, they don't like me. They will bid me up on everything. I've experienced that too. But after doing all loot systems, I was a GM of many successful guilds, full cleared Nax, full cleared everything. Like Loot Council, like we did Loot Council, and a lot of people they didn't like it. And then we went to White Main, we did GDKPs, and everyone loved it because everyone got paid for the time. And we can all agree to disagree, but when you take the right to choose away from people, you're no better than the people you point your fingers at. And it respects everyone's time in the process. Versus you go to an SR, you do 2.1k on Major Domo, you get a pink parse, and then little Johnny rolls higher than you, and he gray parse entire. No. So I think everyone's right in this conversation, but I don't think anyone's right or wrong.
I think everyone should have the right to join whatever raid that they want to join, right?
That's all I wanted. But no, I got permabanned. It's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, Greek, did you think in Greek? Okay, so let's talk about the permaban, okay? You literally posted a video on your YouTube.
So many people have done that.
Greek,
So many people
Greek,
do
it's
what
like
I do.
buying drugs in a police fucking station.
Soda Poppy got handed like 20k in stream. Same. It does not. The medium doesn't matter because it's the same method every time. So many streamers have gotten donated hundreds of thousands of gold, but I made a tweet about it, granted being a slob.
But I mean, it's like there's like proofs, right?
Oh no, there's proof,
like,
absolutely.
like
but the proof's in the Bobko. One second, the proof's in the pudding, brother. Because
right?
the band they got me with,
the
band they got me with, abusive economy. I mean, I am guilty. I am 100% guilty. But abusive economy is not a permaban. Abusive economy is only given to people that sell gold.
That is true. That is good.
Are the people who have real world and trade.
Offend?
This is my first time I've been banned ever.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty arch.
What about the bots? Didn't you just get banned recently with the bots?
I got muted. I got muted because of them. But no,
I'm pretty sure
they stack.
Greek,
Yeah, me too.
you legitimately posted a video on how to buy gold and get away with it on a YouTube channel.
Hundreds of streamers have done that on their streams live. Like, yeah, did I do it? Like, show people? Am I guilty?
Well, you showed the actual website. You showed the actual website on how to.
Yeah, I'm banning everything.
On top of that, you were kind of making a statement on. The thing is you made a statement towards them, and they just responded to your statement.
Yeah, they responded by being emotionally mature and retaliating with a penalty that doesn't even encompass what the penalty.
So what was your accomplishment on that video? Did you think they were gonna say, you know what, Greek, you're right, we're gonna reconsider?
No, I just wanted them to start the dialogue because when they banned the GDKPs, you took the choice right out of our hands, and we're not gonna farm consumes an ST for 10 hours for one flask. Of course, people are gonna buy gold. We don't have the time to do that, bro. So, and guess what? And it accomplished exactly what I wanted to because we have all three of us in here, and I have 500 people talking about this dialogue right now over stuff because other people, a grand wants to cater to a bunch of people that die in hardcore, while people are shelling out tens of fucking thousands of dollars with this fresh. The flasks are $15. In no other version or variant in Classic Era World of Warcraft, flasks have reached a financial pinnacle of $15 plus. Never in WoW's history. And this is the only time in WoW's history this is no GDKP. So the economics aren't adding up. That's all.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could be just be Giga Chad like Bunkai and just come no consumed, barely even world buff and clear that shit.
Yeah, but we want to do it in one day. I love you though. I love you, but we want to do it like in and out. Yeah.
So look, like I feel like you guys are more like passionate, but like on like different levels. But you guys are like,
yeah. Soda Popping has a VOD of him buying gold on stream. Yeah.
We are classic fans, but you guys see the game a little bit differently, you know. And I agree, got punished for it today, and it is what it is. But yeah.
I gotta clear.
Players and figures. So
I gotta ask something though.
It's sad.
Why is it every time I tune into your stream, you're talking shit about me?
Why is it that the Bankai beef?
I don't talk shit about you all the time, bro.
You guys add some Bankai like Shobek beef.
Bro, every single time, bro.
Are you talking about this? Are you talking about this? Here.
Bro, everything,
the viewers wants to hear it.
No, because no.
Let's go.
Bob, one second. No, in all due respect, you're the shining example of everything that's against GDKP. That is why I use you as example. No offense to you. It's not out of disrespect. It's not out of like against you as a character. It's
You
just,
literally talk shit.
but then
So
but your parses, but you have bad parses, dog. The shit talking is justified. There's no personal attachment to it. Everything I say is calculated and justified. We play the game differently, and it shows.
So wait,
through Warcraft logs.
I got a question then. What happens if I get better parses than you in this PWL phase?
You will never. Oh, what class? Rogue, I don't play Rogue. A warrior? Well, I'm banned, bro. You're probably gonna get better parses than me now.
I mean, you don't have like hundreds or something on white main?
So I don't have what? No, all my counts are gone, bro. I'm done.
So technically speaking, I have higher parses than
Can
you.
we do like a fucking duel or like something like a Magora? Wait, if Greek gets unbanned, could we do like a Magora 1v1, one duel?
I'll never get unbanned. It's permanent, and I'm not coming back, bro. I don't want to give these people my money ever again. Because you know what? Soda Poppy bought gold on stream numerous times. A lot of people buy gold on stream numerous times. But since I posted a Gren being a fat goblin, that's why they got mad. Literally 12 hours after I posted my tweet, I get banned. Coincidence? Nah.
Oh, but a Shobek and Greek duel would be legendary.
It would be legendary, but it's not going to happen now because, yeah. It's done. I guess I'm going to become a RuneScape Andy.
Well, can you parse in RuneScape?
No, there's no parsing in RuneScape. But people look at your kill count total to see how good you are at the game. And if you don't have a high KC, you won't get invited to high-end raids. The high-end raids have a higher chance of dropping BOEs. Because in RuneScape, items are not BOP, they're BOE. And the real-world trading for RuneScape is 1,000 times stronger than World of Warcraft. So the fact they made this kind of response is hilarious. Because RuneScape figured out all of this. Like, look, right next to me, bro, in-game, there's a voting booth that I can go vote for future updates, so people like you and me don't have a fucking influence on decisions. Because streamers have too much privilege. Look at all these. Look at RuneScape. Look at all these polls. These are things people voted for, and yet we're not allowed to fucking vote. People are not allowed to have a voice.
I mean, sometimes I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd want to go off of what the majority vote would want right now in vanilla WoW. You know, you got to be, you know, we talk about this a lot with Nick because he's making a video game. And sometimes it's interesting. The community and what they want changes as time goes on. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's actually good for the game. And I think a lot of the times people want to just play classic WoW. And if they're, we'll see the voting system. We'll see what they're doing in Classic Plus, but I don't know, man. Sometimes the community, we don't know what's best. Even sometimes what we think we do. It's a delicate thing.
Yeah, then why not do what Jagex does? Host polls, and if something seems irregular or there's occurrence of cheating, they double down the poll and they do an audit to make sure everyone that voted was legitimized. Because you can say we don't know what's best, but when you give people the ultimate decision at the end of the day, and when that decision fails, the only people you can blame is the people that voted for that, not what other people were forced to do based off the opinions of many, because that's erroneous. Yeah, in RuneScape, it needs an 80% pass rate. It's not 50%. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, gentlemen. I don't think I'm getting unbanned.
I agree. Thank you for taking your time, Shobek too.
Yeah, God bless, guys.
You
Peace.
Had a great debate.
Yeah, I just routed them. That was a really good fucking debate. Alright, guys. Oh shit! Oh my god, it's worth a lot! No, and the thing is, he's like, you talk shit about me. I don't talk shit about him. I just say things about his parses which are true, and it's not me being mean. It's just his parses are bad. It's not me being personal, and he takes it personally. Like, you see how composed I was?